Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that every other human being on Earth has vanished, as if reality glitched. No messages, no voices, no footsteps, just silence, as if reality glitched. At first, it felt like some kind of bizarre prank, as if reality glitched. But the longer he searched, the stranger reality became. As if reality glitched. Entire cities stood frozen in time. As if reality glitched. Meals sat untouched. Trains waited without passengers. Airplanes never arrived. As if reality glitched. The world had stopped. Except for him. As if reality glitched. For hours, he called out to anyone who might still be alive. As if reality glitched. But the only thing answering him was the echo of his own voice. As if reality glitched. And that was the moment the terrifying truth finally began to sink in. As if reality glitched. Maybe everyone was hiding. As if reality glitched. Maybe there had been some kind of emergency evacuation. As if reality glitched. So he searched farther than ever before. He visited towns, villages, and places most people never see. But everywhere looked exactly the same. No people, no movement, no answers. Days passed, then weeks. The excitement of having the whole world to himself slowly disappeared. Because humans were never meant to be alone. At first, the silence felt peaceful. Then it became uncomfortable. And eventually, it became terrifying. Every creaking floorboard sounded like a stranger. Every distant noise sparked hope, only for disappointment to follow. He began talking to himself just to hear another voice. Then he started answering himself. The human mind can survive many things. But endless isolation changes people in ways they never expect. Then, one night, something changed. It began with a sound he hadn't heard in months. Static. To anyone else, it would mean nothing. But to him, it was everything. Because static meant a signal, and a signal meant a source. Maybe someone else was still alive. For the first time in months, he smiled. The next morning, the search began. He followed every clue the signal offered. North, south, east, west. The signal appeared strongest near the coast. So he headed there immediately. Hour after hour, the signal grew stronger. His heart raced. Every possibility flooded his mind. Maybe there was a hidden community. Maybe he wasn't the last human after all. By sunset, he finally reached the source at the edge of the coast. An old lighthouse stood alone against the sea, battered by time. The signal was coming from inside the mysterious structure. His pulse quickened as he approached the entrance. This was it at last. The answer he had been searching for all this time. He reached the top after a long climb, and found absolutely no one waiting there. The room was completely deserted and silent, but something was still transmitting the signal. The machine was running on its own somehow. Month after month, it had continued broadcasting endlessly. Not because someone was using it anymore, but because it had never been switched off. The signal wasn't a message after all. It wasn't a cry for help from a survivor. It was nothing more than an accident of circumstance. For a moment, he felt completely defeated inside. Maybe he truly was alone in the world. Then he noticed something that changed everything. Hidden beneath a layer of dust was a small recording device. It looked old, but it still had power remaining. His hands shook as he activated it carefully. The screen flickered with faint light, and for the first time in months, he saw another human face. The message had been recorded long before everyone disappeared. If anyone is seeing this, then our worst fears have come true. The scientist began explaining what happened next, and the truth was more unbelievable than anything he had imagined. Months before humanity vanished, strange events began occurring across the planet. At first, they seemed completely unrelated to one another. Small anomalies appeared in every corner of the world. Objects briefly disappeared and reappeared without explanation. Entire rooms would momentarily become empty without warning, then return to normal seconds later. Scientists around the world struggled to understand it, but every answer created even more questions. And then the anomalies began growing stronger, much stronger than anyone had predicted. Then came the day everything changed forever. The anomalies suddenly appeared everywhere at once. Cities, villages, oceans, deserts. Nowhere was untouched. Within minutes, panic spread across the globe. No one understood what they were witnessing. Then the disappearances began without warning. One person, then hundreds, then millions across the world. Entire crowds vanished before each other's eyes. Humanity was disappearing from reality itself. And that's when everything changed. Governments declared global emergencies across the world. Scientists worked around the clock searching for answers. But nothing could stop it from spreading further. Every hour, more people vanished without warning. Entire cities became quieter and quieter, until streets that once held millions stood completely empty. And then researchers discovered something terrifying. The people weren't dying. At least, not in the way anyone expected. According to the data, they were being moved somewhere else. But where were they being taken? That question became humanity's final obsession. Every remaining researcher focused on a single goal: find the destination. And eventually, they found a clue. The disappearances weren't random. Every vanished human followed the same path. The path led far beyond Earth, far beyond the solar system, far beyond anything humanity had ever reached. The destination wasn't another planet. It wasn't another star system. According to their calculations, it was somewhere stranger, somewhere outside normal reality. Scientists called it a parallel layer of existence, an invisible world existing alongside our own. And somehow, humanity was being transferred there. The discovery changed everything, because it meant humanity might still exist, just not here. But one mystery remained. If everyone else had been transferred, why was he left behind? The recording had an answer. A tiny number of people were unaffected, for reasons we still don't fully understand. He wasn't unique. There had been others before him, but one by one, they disappeared too. Eventually, only one remained. Him. The scientist's final message was simple. If you're seeing this, then you may be humanity's last chance. The recording revealed coordinates. Coordinates to a machine built for one purpose: to open a doorway between realities. A doorway capable of crossing the boundary between worlds. For the first time in months, he finally had a destination. For the first time in months, he had real hope again. Maybe humanity wasn't gone. Maybe it was waiting on the other side. Maybe the answers he had searched for were waiting there too. Maybe countless people were still alive beyond that unseen boundary. Maybe the last human on Earth was never meant to stay on Earth at all. The future of humanity now depended on a single choice. And then he stepped through.